But like you were injured, your knee?
My knee. That's why I ended up in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills. Right there.
Who signed
that
it? Anybody?
Helmet. And there's the Princeton helmet. Although we didn't wear that helmet when I was there. That looks better. That's the current helmet.
So you played Princeton football, and then you got drafted, and you got hurt.
Free agent,
but you hurt your knee.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I didn't think that was it because they said, oh, we think you're going to have surgery. And I said, all right, well, per the collective bargaining agreement at the time, I could choose my doctor. And I had been operated on previously by Curlin Job over in Inglewood. So I wanted them to do it, not the Buffalo doctors, which I think might have ticked off Bill Polian, our general manager. He doesn't even remember it now. I've seen him since.
Right.
And he probably ticked him off, but it was in my right. And so I went back to California, had the surgery done, found out there was a bigger problem, a defect in my knee where I blew off a piece of cartilage. So they did this microfracture surgery. And the idea was that I was going to get better and come back the following season. They were going to waive me after I was healthy, but it never got healthy. And so I ended up
were you heartbroken?
An injury grievance.
Were you heartbroken?
No, because I didn't think it was over. What's going on? I want to make sure. Is that you? My child. I ended up filing an injury grievance and winning that. I'm just making sure. Smart House is telling me everything that's going on. The doors open, this happened, blah, 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 blah. That's something I wasn't used to, is Smart House. But the injury grievance, it ended my career. I mean, it was it. I mean, once we got to the playoffs that year in November, and they cut me off of injured reserve, which was against the collective bargaining agreement. I sued an injury grievance, which means I know I'm out of the NFL, but I got my little baby undrafted free agent rookie money, which was a lot of money for me at the time.
Yeah.
Now it's way more.
Yeah.
But then it was a lot of money.
But from that, after that, that's when you started taking acting seriously?
Yeah, well, because then I started thinking, all right, but the idea was that I was going to go play in the NFL and write screenplays. So I was going to exercise my body all day long, and at night I would write screenplays because my dad was really cultivating me as a writer. And I was writing with him all the time, and I did all his ghostwriting and everything he was doing. I did it all. So the idea was I was going to do both. But then suddenly football was gone. Now I was just rehabbing in California. So I started writing, and I started writing for him, writing. And then, the acting part, he didn't want me to be an actor.
Why?
He said, actually, his advice to me when I said I might be an actor, he said 3 words: don't do it. And I was like, wow, okay. And the idea behind that is like, if you can do something else, do that.
Right. Because
it's such he didn't want me in the limelight. He didn't want me being critiqued by millions of people.
Because he knew, he saw it happen constantly.
100%.
Right.
And I watched the mistakes that, Rob Lowe made, and I watched the mistakes that Charlie made and some of the things. And he was like, don't do that.
So why did you do it?
Because I thought it was fun. I thought that was a much more fun way. I enjoyed the writing. I love all filmmaking. I like writing, producing, directing. I could just do one or just the other or both or all of them in a film, and I'll be real happy.
Yeah.
I just love that process, and creating a process, and then, being focused on one project and then being done with it. Like, this piece of work can stand on its own. I can give it to you, and you can watch it and experience it, and I can give it to them, and they can. I love that. That's a wonderful thing, and you can express yourself in so many different ways.